Welcome back, folks. Sport Federation TV, of course, every Saturday night from 9 to 10. And then, of course, in the repeat, if you miss it, on Saturday mornings from 8 a.m. through to 9 a.m. And always, we do our best to catch up with our federations and their activities. Of course, we know at the moment COVID regulations are in place, but our sport codes are very active in terms of making sure that they're only playing according to the approved regulations. One of the sport codes that we've been speaking to, well, for quite a while now, that has remained active is, of course, tennis. A lot of superstars coming out of the Western Cape, and of course, as you know, tennis has been active on a global level, so people have been able to watch tennis. Joining me on the line now is the president of Western Cape Tennis, and he's back, Riad Davids. Riad, nice to have you back on the show.
Good evening, JP. Absolutely fantastic to be here once again to brief people on tennis and just to keep you updated on what's happening in tennis. And as you know, as usual, a huge amount is happening.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, every time you put on the TV screen, we see another tennis tournament, and also exciting. I think just a few days ago, we were watching Rafael Nadal and Novak Djokovic, and the world again tuned into tennis.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a match. I mean, Nadal, to win his 10th Italian Open, it's absolutely fantastic. But also, if you look at it, because it was in Italy, the semi-finals were played by Italians. Unfortunately, they lost to Djokovic and Nadal, but I suppose it's no sin to lose to the number one or the number two. But it just shows the level of tennis, the way that guy played Djokovic, Soniga, and the way Berrettini played and things like that. It just shows how good tennis is and how active, and to have all these tournaments, have the ladies, and even have a bit of a crowd as well. We're almost getting back to normality in South Africa. We just got to stay safe, keep social distancing, sanitizing, and hopefully, the vaccine will roll out, and then we'll have our crowds back as well.
Well, let's hope all the public out there, and of course we know what excellent work the sport fraternity is doing to make sure that their federations and clubs, etc., are really sticking to the COVID regulations. I mean, we know that tennis has been one of the leaders in the movement against COVID, with all of the safety plans and the regulations and compliance officers. Is that a sense of comfort for you, knowing that your athletes and clubs are all really well organized, shall we say?
Absolutely, JP. So the first thing we say is you must make absolutely sure you're not part of the problem. You're not spreading COVID. And then after that, you make sure that you're actually doing something to actively remind people COVID is there, and saying to them, you can live a normal life by taking precautions. And that's all we're asking people. You can play sport, you can go to the shops, you can do everything. Just do it absolutely responsibly, and then you can do things. You've got to keep putting that message out there, and us as the leaders have to keep putting that message out there. So when the ministry last week announced, well, just a few days ago, that contact sport was not going to be allowed in schools, Tennis South Africa took a decision and said, you know what, let's also stop tennis at school level, because we don't want certain codes to suffer and other codes continue. So tennis said, you know what, we'll continue with our tournaments. We'll continue on provincial and national level with Tennis South Africa tournaments. But at school level, we're going to stop that. So we were busy paying our regionals now for the BNP Paribas Rising Stars, where every one of the 9 provinces sends a team. They go up to Sun City. We have an absolute 4-day event for the kids. We really honor them, show them what it is like to be on TV, to have stars there. Last year we had Kevin Anderson and Lloyd Harris playing at Soweto. Sorry, not last year, the year before. Last year, of course, almost nothing happened.
Yes.
And they could meet their stars, play with their stars, hit with their stars, and it was absolutely fantastic. We had the guys internationally from BNP Paribas there, our local guys, Regan Adams, who is David Samai's grandson, and things like that. He's part of the BNP Paribas, the RCS, Growth Point. They've all put a lot of money into tennis, and we could hold that event. We now decided to just temporarily suspend that event as well, because, as you know, at school level, that's where you're now finding COVID rising. I mean, we've just had local principals having it, teachers having it. So we said the responsible thing to do is let's just put schools tennis on hold. Even the government said we can, but we thought it's the right thing to do. So, shout out to everybody. Tennis is still busy, but not with school versus school or inter-school, because we feel that's the that's the area where the COVID spread is now, and we had to take that.
My understanding is that tennis is a 12-month activity. You have clubs that play tennis all year long, and of course you have certain seasons with your leagues and so on.
Yes.
Did I sum it up right?
No, absolutely. So we start on the 1st of January and we end on the 31st of December, and then you start on the 1st of January again. In fact, the only break is actually we finish the last tournament on the 23rd of December, and then the next one starts on the 3rd of January. So we literally have 1 week where nothing happens, and then the summer tournaments start again, and we run throughout the year. We've just held a very successful Junior Nationals in Bloemfontein, and at this moment in time, last week, we had beach tennis where we had the qualifying guys, and Western Cape sent up a team of Fabian and Philip Franken, Fabian Viljoen, and they got to the semifinals. They even got to the semifinals of mixed doubles and doubles. Absolutely fantastic. We then chose a South African team, which is playing in a regional African qualifying against Zimbabwe, Kenya, Namibia, Mozambique. We won that, and now we're going to the Africa Champs, and hopefully we'll even have a beach tennis team in the World Champs.
I'm getting goosebumps. I'm assuming not because it's winter and it's cold. I'm getting goosebumps because of the good feeling that you're giving me, that our tennis stars are coming through the ranks, and you're telling me again that as South Africa, we're winning.
No, we're winning. So that is just local. Then we're sending our under 16 and under 14 and under 16 teams through to Egypt to play in the African Junior Championships. The winners of that go on to the World Finals, and we're hoping it will be a South African team. Definitely there's one spot for Africa in both of those finals, and that's where our teams will go to China, to Chengdu, to play in the World Finals against the best in the world.
Riad, is that now, I think that there are a lot of people that have been asking the question, is the Olympics going to happen? We know that people, some sport codes are still working out if it is happening, who is going. Is that something that we can put a tick mark next to, that we have two tennis players going to the Olympics?
Well, so let me put on my SASCOC hat at this time. So SASCOC officially saying we are sending teams to the Olympics. I didn't even saw the other night our team, our 400-meter athletes, they beat everybody else. 100 meters, they beat Brazil by 1,000th of a second. They celebrating. Sabindi will be running as well the 100-meter final. Wade van Niekerk is in the US preparing for it. So we're preparing. You know, we've got great sponsors on board. You've got Mr. Price Sport on board, a huge amount of new sponsors. And with the new SASCOC board we've got in place, it's all systems go. So South Africa is sending a very, very good team to the Olympics.
Yes, we were hoping to have the president of SASCOC, Barry Hendricks, on the show today, but unfortunately traveling commitments and all those commitments has tied him down. Riad, just before we go, you just for the sake of the viewers out there, you mentioned beach tennis. Now, we know that in sport, a lot of our national structures have got different codes. Beach tennis is, of course, one of your codes. But for the viewer that never seen beach tennis or hasn't heard about it, what is beach tennis? How does that change between a court and going on the beach?
Well, so
do you play on the beach? I mean,
exactly.
I'm assuming you're playing the tennis on the beach.
So it's if you've seen beach volleyball, it's been very, very widely done. So beach tennis is exactly the same. You have 4 players. It's doubles. There is a singles, but doubles is fantastic to watch. It's almost exactly the same size court as beach volleyball.
Right.
And it's the same scoring in tennis as you do 15, 30, 40 match. There's a deuce, you know, everything. We've just taken the decision to increase the height of the net so that it doesn't favor only the taller player. It equalizes it a bit more in terms of the serve and things like that, because we found that as in tennis, a lot of the taller players were coming through and the shorter weren't. Whereas in normal tennis, there was a time it was happening, but then along come Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer, and they're all only 6 foot tall and they're taking over the world. So tennis didn't need to change the size of the net, but beach tennis did.
Riad, one of just a last note is, of course, winter now. Winter has come very quickly there, and we just saw quite a lot of rain now, especially in the last few days here in the Western Cape. Does this have an impact for tennis in the Western Cape? Are they able to play?
So tomorrow's not going to rain, and hopefully the courts are dry, and then we'll still be playing our normal league. Next weekend we're playing what is called the Top Guns, where all the clubs play, the top players play against each other, A division and B division, and whoever wins out of that will be going through to Sun City as well to play in the South African Club Champs, and the winner of that gets fantastic prizes. There are cash prizes, there's everything. We put on a massive show, we live stream it, so a huge amount happens still. And then what we do with the regional tournaments, we're blessed in South Africa. In the Western Cape, we have what's called winter rainfall. So we move all the major tournaments through to Gauteng and Durban, Free State, because they have summer rainfall.
Right,
so everything still gets played. Rain doesn't stop us. Climate doesn't stop us. It's a year-round sport. And as I say, we're blessed in South Africa that we've got all these seasons. In fact, in Cape Town alone, you've got 4 seasons in one day.
We know that that's a Peter de Villiers' favourite statement.
Yes,
4 seasons in one day.
Absolutely.
Riad, we'll leave it at that. It's been great chatting with you. And of course, we're so happy to see tennis, the wheels keep turning. And of course, we say from our side, good luck. We know that we've got Kelly and Robbie, I think, on the show in a week or two. And we're looking forward to their performance, because they are 2 of our athletes that are coming through the ranks that are really making South Africa very proud. And we're looking forward to chatting with them. And of course, in the meantime, we say to you and everybody out there, stay safe. And we're looking forward to more progress.
Absolutely, JP. Thanks for the time. But remember, we also on the 4th of June have our new Billie Jean King Cup captain, Roxanne Clark, who would also be on your show. Give her all the support you can. If you don't know what the Billie Jean King Cup is, it's the Old Fed Cup. So it's what we'll call Davis Cup for females. And our newly appointed captain will be on the show as well.
So it's the Billie Jean Cup. What is the date of that tournament, Riad?
So it's already been played all over the world. We've had huge qualifying of many of the top nations already. Great Britain, it's been in the US, it's been all over the world. And in the regional, so the world finals will be in Madrid in November. So we look forward to having a South African team representing us soon. You know, we're rebuilding.
Right.
We're in the building phase. We're in Group 3 at the moment. Our drive is to get our ladies into Group 2 and then challenge to get into Group 1 and then World Group, and then, you know, we're home and dry again. It takes some time. We're rebuilding with a new young group, and I'm sure we'll do that. You know, unfortunately, with all sport, it goes in cycles. Your older top players need to retire, and then you have a rebuilding one. And that's what we're busy doing. But the advantage is it's youngsters, it's the new top players within South Africa that will be coming through the ranks. So keep an eye out for them. I know about 2 years ago I was talking about Lloyd Harris. Nobody heard of him. Now the whole world knows about him, and that's the way to go.
No, well, I think it's these kind of support things also where the athletes know that someone is talking about them, someone's thinking about them, and that they don't feel alone, because we know that the road to being a champion can be rather lonely. And I think for these athletes, they are very lucky to have good administrators behind the scenes looking after their progress. So definitely we'll keep following the progress, and to you and the team, well done for all the work you guys keep doing on tennis.
Yeah, well, thanks, JP, and thanks for having us. You know, it's so few sports are on TV, and thanks for bringing it onto TV. It really is fantastic. Thanks.
There we go, folks. Riad Davids, president of Western Cape Tennis. And how exciting. So much activity, so many athletes coming through the ranks. We can't stop talking about. So looking forward to more tennis interviews over the next few weeks. So stay tuned, and we'll keep you posted. Folks, we'll take an ad break. We'll come back from the break. We'll carry on looking at sport in the province. Back in a sec.